So sitting beside my co-host Matt Duncan, main event here at Combat Zone 73, blue corner, Dan Dubuque, 8-4, and Brendan Marotte in the red corner, 5-1. It's an exciting matchup. Matt, what can we expect?
Yeah, I mean, we can really expect, a striking battle here. I mean, both guys, well-rounded mixed martial artists, but there's no secret. They're stand-up fighters. They like to stand, brawl, mix it up with the kicks and punches. So I mean, we're going to see a pretty high level striking MMA fight here.
All right, I like it. Both fighters come to the center of the cage, intense, feeling each other out, throwing. It's a nice shot straight up from Marotte. Oh,
Dan, nice combination off the Superman punch, but it seems like he may have gotten a little bit too close there. Brendan briefly looking for the takedown, but
both impressive records,
nice shot
both
off the
amazing walkout songs. I'm just going to say...
huge body kick there.
Wow, nice shots.
But great IQ there from Brendan. I mean, he took a big shot. Dan was stepping in, maybe got a little too over-eager with that big shot and gave up the takedown here. Brendan looking for the foot trip there, trying to drag this fight to the ground.
Dubuque back to his feet.
Back to the feet here.
He's going to try to push Marotte back to the center of the cage.
From Dan.
Yep. Can I just say that I love the team name Golden Falcon almost as much as I love John Vina's amazing sport coat tonight.
Yep. Dan Dubuque here fighting on a Golden Falcon. His team out of Connecticut, fight in the backyard, hometown hero here in the main event, Brendan.
Yeah, he's got quite a following here tonight.
Brendan looking to set up that big overhand right, but missed the shot. Oh. Both guys not afraid to exchange the kicks here.
Yeah, for sure. Both fighters back and forth. No, one guy dominating here, just kind of still.
Yep. Yeah, this is a really great matchup. I mean, both guys really showing their skills in the striking. Both fighters mixing it up a lot with the low kicks.
Marotte trying to maintain position in the center of the cage, but Dubuque just certainly driving the action, throwing a lot of combos, not landing a ton, but throwing.
Brendan briefly looking for the trip there.
Nice elbow from the bottom.
Little gamesmanship there. Brendan talking to Dan's corner here. Dan did a good job at separating the hands there.
What do we got going on here, Matt?
Yep. I mean, Brendan was briefly looking to for the takedown there, but
nice exchange.
Both guys just brawling out here. Dan going after it here.
I might be wrong, but it looked like there was a little blood on the face of Marotte.
Big knees. Couple big knees.
He's got to defend against it. I think he's in trouble.
Brendan might be hurt there. There were a few knees that landed. I don't think he's out of.
He's not. Yeah.
Brendan's got to get out of this position right now if he wants to stay in this fight.
He's just defending right now. He doesn't. He's got to circle
Brandon's
out.
Staying up.
But if he can survive the storm, Dubuque's gonna be tired. I mean, there's some heart right there, man.
Wow.
There's a lot of shots. A lot of shots to come back out. Right now, he's got to take a rest. He's got to recover for that. I mean.
Yep, under a minute here. Brendan Marotte surviving a storm from Dan Dubuque.
A literal storm. I mean, that was a lot of shots. Oh, wait, does he actually have his neck here?
Brendan's in on a choke, but he didn't have any control of the legs, so it was just a matter of time before Dan would be able to slip out.
Yeah, we hear his coach yelling, telling him to stand up. And I think he does need to do that. Both fighters resting right now, taking advantage. 10 seconds left in the round.
Yep. Dan's corner pleading for him to stand up and start striking, but I think, like you said, just really unloaded a lot of energy there. I think both Brendan was looking to recover, and I think Dan was just looking to get a little bit of wind back after that barrage.
Brendan's coach as well. So real quick, we got we should talk about the fight, but I just want to give it up to some of the unsung heroes here at Combat Zone. First of all, Calvin Kattar, UFC superstar, right? Superstar on the rise for putting this amazing event on, showcasing local fighters. He once fought in this cage. Also, though, we got to give it up for Joe Leonard. He's the magic behind all the video that happens here and allows us to do the job that we're going to do here tonight. Chris Kirsch on the lights, right? Like this amazing production, making guys feel like they're already in the UFC. And, of course, we got Peter and Hunter out there on the cameras and all the other guys. We got Alicia, John McCarthy, amazing photographers. Check us out at Combat Zone MMA. That's where you're going to get to see the photos. So, great group of people that put these events on and showcase these fighters as if they're already there in the UFC. We got two guys that could be very well on their way. Hopefully, Marotte has got the rest he needs. It looks like he took some damage to his nose. What does he need to do different in this round?
Yeah, Brandon, both fighters, are having their moments. I think Brandon's just, he's got to get the respect back. He's got to land, start landing those significant shots.
And is there anything
turn the tides here?
Dubuque definitely caused some damage throughout a flurry. Looks like he's going for a takedown here. But is there anything that he can do differently?
Well, I think right now I kind of like Dan's strategy. In the first round, I think it was just all a striking barrage. But he's letting Brandon know here in the second round, hey, if you think I'm just going to stand here and strike, I'm mixed martial arts too. So it's giving Brandon more to think about. If Brandon starts thinking about the takedowns, it's going to open more of Dan's shots up.
Yeah, Marotte's got Marotte's left leg red. Oh my God, Dubuque just like chasing him down. I got to tell you, man, for as many strikes as he threw in that last round, you would think most fighters would be exhausted from that, right? That's like he was trying to put him away, and. If Marotte's got, I don't know if Marotte's got a broken. You think he's got a broken nose here?
It's hard to say. He definitely took some. Brandon took some big damage in that first round from huge knees in the clinch to that striking barrage at the end.
Yeah.
But make no doubt about it, Brandon is still in this fight.
Yeah, for sure. Flying knee to flurry. This is. It's the main event, right?
Yeah. This is why this is the main event. Originally these guys were slated for the co-main. Fortunately, an injury forced Tim Karen out of the main event here at Combat Zone 73. But the fans are not missing out on a great main event here. Brendan Marotte and Dan Dubuque are putting on a show.
Yeah. And Marotte's got to keep the pressure up.
Yep.
He's got to stay inside, I think. I think some of those combos that Dubuque, he's like better from a distance.
Nice front kick.
Yeah, front kick. Oh, nice straight jabs right up the center. Trying to just work that nose. It's got to be tough for Brandon to breathe with that kind of damage to his nose.
Yeah. Brandon
nice takedown.
Nice. Right off the punch, changed levels, brought the fight down. Looking to take the back here.
Perfect timing, going to take the back.
Doesn't have his bottom hook in, though.
Yeah, but this is some PMA training with that transition right there. Time the shot. Oh.
Unfortunately, without the hooks, Brandon, he's a finisher. He's looking for the choke there, but unfortunately gave up position. A little bit too aggressive. Didn't secure that back mount, and unfortunately now he's on the bottom.
I think Dubuque's going to take this opportunity to rest. He's going to work a little bit from the bottom, just enough so Kevin doesn't stand him up right away, right? But, you can see he's kind of relaxed outside his guard. Oh,
Brandon looking to throw up a triangle there.
Yeah, transition. He's looking for a transition over the top.
Dan, it's a good position to rain down some shots, but he's got to be careful. I mean, Brendan, even though he's primarily known as a striker, he does have a dangerous guard.
It looked like he was scrambling with side control, both fighters back to their feet. And Dubuque's got control of the back of his head, throwing some
nice spinning elbow. I'm really liking the knees and the clinch here from Dan. He has landed some good knees here. Brendan's just got to be careful if he's going for this style of attack, that he's protecting himself from the knees and elbows, because Dan is able to land some good shots from here.
Yeah, well, right. What's Dan doing right now? He's trying to stifle the takedown, right?
Yeah, so right now Brendan's got his hands clasped.
Oh, Brendan's taking some damage, man. He's got some heart. And, I mean, he's certainly not out of this, so I don't want to make it sound like that. Like, we saw a nice transition in almost a couple submissions there. Dubuque working hard. Dubuque looked like he was almost like looking up to see if there was a second clock there for a second, though. So,
nice again with the knees from this clinch position. I mean, he's landed that, throughout these past couple rounds here.
What's Kevin McDonald looking for over there?
Nice trip from Brendan.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful if he's going for the back position here. He's got to secure position first before looking for the sub. It's going to be very difficult.
Let's get that in pretty tight, but Dubuque scrambling over the top. Saved by the bell. We call that the Zach Morris saved by the bell. Here we are.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, from the attack of Brendan. I think he's just a little too hungry for the finish. He just needed to take the time, to try and secure the position, before throwing on the choke. Dan was able to move his hips out of there. And
Brendan, obviously, we know he's seasoned at grappling. We see him in there. He's with Rick Hahn, right? Judo Olympian, and also veteran, winner, two-time winner of the Bellator Championships. Great guy to have in your corner. But over here, what we're seeing from Dan Dubuque, some beautiful combinations. Super exciting fight so far. What's Brendan got to do to take this?
Yeah, I mean, right now the story has just been Dan just landing some of the bigger shots, in the clinch. I think Brendan would be better off trying to fight at the distance a little bit. Keep it a kickboxing match. I think he's just taking too much damage inside the clinch.
Yeah, show of respect there from the fighters as they come to the center and hug before they start pummeling each other.
And as Dan
with an onslaught.
Yeah, Dan throwing some big elbows, combinations to the body. And I think this is where Dan is seeing his best success, and I think that's why he's going for it in the third round here. He's landed some of his best shots in this clinch position.
Brendan throwing some old school foot stomps. Always one of the things that has made me, if nothing else, cringe when watching MMA is the old foot stomp.
Brendan looking for the big right hand. Both these guys swinging. Brendan looking for a good opportunity there in the chaos of the brawl to change levels, shoot a nice takedown. Again, looking for the back take here. He needs to be patient. He's trying to set up the choke here, but he just doesn't have the control, and he's allowing Dan to escape these submission attempts.
Now, we talked about this earlier in one of the other fights, right, when we had the split decision about takedowns and where points should come from. A lot of times, fighters get points for takedowns. That last one, both fighters come to the center, throw an exchange, like a crazy flurry of punches to each other. Brendan, gets the takedown out of that, but is that, a calculated takedown, or is that a takedown in defense to kind of like, whoa, you hit me, I hit you, and now I might be falling, but I'm also going to take you with me, try to regain control, but, oh, Jesus.
Wow, Brendan stepping in for looked like a Superman punch there. Brief exchange, back to the clinch. I mean, both these guys making it just a dirty fight. I mean, really guys just putting all their energy right now and mixing it up really well. I mean, we're seeing a lot of good striking on the open, clinch fighting, grappling.
Well, I think right now Dan's probably thinking to himself, what do I need to do to put this kid away on his feet? And he's also thinking, how am I going to get to my feet right now? I think Brendan wants to keep him down, feels like he can possibly submit him there. Maybe he's tired him out enough. I mean, what a main event right now so far. It's back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys, I mean, really showing their experience. Brendan, this being his 7th professional fight. I think Dan is his 13th now. I mean, both these guys are really showing that,
nice.
they could be fighting at some major promotions here.
Oh, and what a combo by Dubuque, then it followed by a takedown from Marotte. Trying to get the hooks in.
He might fall off the front though. Again, this has just been the story of this fight. I mean, Dan being very aggressive with the striking, giving Brendan some opportunities for some takedowns, but Brendan just being a little bit too aggressive looking for the finish.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he knows
putting himself out of position.
He's not going to be able to put Dan away with strikes at this point. Dan's still fresh in that area. So his
hasn't taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I think at this point, he knows his key to success is a last-minute submission, right? We got 1 minute left in a very exciting fight.
Spinning elbow.
Nice. Both fighters.
Both guys just swinging.
We're gonna see at the 10-second mark, I think, somebody thinking, I'm gonna steal this round. So right now, I got it scored. If I'm paying attention to scoring, Dubuque first round. Second round, I'm not sure.
It's hard to say. I mean, it really is. I mean, both these guys just back and forth. Both fighters ending up on top. Both fighters, landing some huge shots.
Yeah.
If I had to say, I would think, Dan, really hurting him. Took the first round when he really hurt Brendan the first round.
Both fighters just standing in the center, throwing. 10-second warning. Watch this. Quick. Try to finish. Knees. Takedown, going for a last-minute takedown. Points flurry.
Wow,
what a fight!
Unbelievable fight.
I don't really know how to call that one, honestly.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to leave that one up to the judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for these two warriors from a back-and-forth action fight? Brendan the Kid Marotte and Dan Dubuque. After 3 action-packed rounds, we have a split decision. Judge Flanagan sees the bout 29-28. He has it for Marotte. Judge Cordero sees the bout 29-28 for Dubuque. While Judge Borson sees the bout 29-28 for your winner in the red corner, Brendan the Kid Marotte.